Like, I'll say this for people. I answered the phone on my first VSL appointment, very first one. Called the guy. Hey, Jim, it's Blaze. How you doing? Blaze, how's it going, man? I was like, wait, what? Like, you call a lead and they're like, what's going on, man? Like, it's like every single person that's watched the video, they're talking to me as though we're like best friends.
Yeah.
Because they spent 10 minutes listening to my video and my voice, and they feel like they know me, and I hit all the spots that they're concerned about for their niche market. And so all these guys, man, I'm just talking to them like, it's like they answer the phone and they're just, almost all of them want to do some kind of business somehow.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another video on the channel. If you're new here, my name is Justin Thomas. I run a consulting business where we teach insurance agents how to scale their business with funnels, Facebook ads, and YouTube ads. If you're new here, we love to talk about insurance, advertising for insurance, a lot of just business strategies, some real estate, and just a lot of things that I'm interested in. So today we have a special guest here, one of my favorite clients here, Blaze 4A. He has been working with us for about 3 months now, and he has gone live with the ads that we have helped him build, the system that we've helped him build in our flagship program called Advertising Mastery. If you're interested in checking it out, I'm going to link a link to that below in the description so you can check it out for yourself. But I wanted to have Blaze on here today so I could ask him a few questions about what he's done to generate this massive success, especially since he's only been going live with ads for about a week, and well, you'll get into it. We'll see how much he's been doing and where he's going to be going with this. So I'm super excited for today's interview. Let's jump in and start asking some questions. So you just came from writing a policy?
Just, yeah, I just finished another one up just now. So it was like 1,600 AP, man. Yeah.
Nice. How many is that?
I was trying to figure out when I really started writing. Okay, it looks like my first piece of business was 1/20/2022. So I've written, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 policies since the 20th for like 13,000.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. And that's off of how many appointments?
9 scheduled appointments. And I think I had like 2 no-shows because I like what I'm noticing is people that fill out the form, tend to be more serious and show up. But I've also had some that didn't fill out and still showed up. But here's what I'm finding is that the people that show up, the potential is massive. Like I would be at another 6,000 right now, except for I'm waiting for the carrier I'm using for this guy for the type of product he wants. I need 10 more days COVID free for him to write that product. But he's already like, dude, I'm waiting on you. It's $6,000 premium on top of other stuff I've written for him. So yeah. I would be like 20,000 right now since the 20th on this program if it weren't for a little bit of underwriting.
Right, just a little bit of logistics. And off the top of your head, you don't need to know the exact number, but do you have any idea what your ad spend has been so far?
When I look back at my test, that first testing week, I threw a ton of money in there that first week, I feel like. So I think I'm roughly at 3,000.
Even including that?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so before it's even dialed down, a week of being live with this, you spent $3,000 and you're at 13, but most likely it's going to be 20. So that's like a 6X return.
Yeah, it's not bad at all, man. It's not bad at all.
That's awesome, man. Well, cool. So I just kind of wanted to spend a little time with you. I don't want to take up a ton of your time, but just asking you a few questions about just kind of like what got you interested in the program, but also like even insurance to begin with, what you thought of it, all that type of stuff. So first one is like, how long have you been selling insurance and kind of been in the insurance game?
Yeah, man. So my background is in ministry. I did that for a number of years. I went to ministry school in 2001 and kind of was going down that path. And then I got married in 2014. And at the time I had been mostly like traveling or working at churches. And I just kind of sensed a direction shift. Sometimes marriage will do that, as far as, hey, I need to make a couple extra bucks here to pay some more bills. And so I kind of put my resume out there and see what I could find to make some extra money. And I got in car sales for a short time, 3-4 months, and loved the selling process. Wasn't so much about cars, but I loved the selling process. And then I got recruited right out of there by a friend of mine from that time into the insurance industry. that was 2016, August of 2016. I got my license and I started selling at the very end of August, and started selling and building a team actually right away within the IMO that I'm at. So I've been at the same group now for 5.5 years. It'll be 6 years in August.
Nice. Okay. And what is that like first 5 years in the insurance kind of look like? You feel like you just picked it up right away? Were there any struggles? What was kind of like that experience?
So my experience, honestly, man, my experience was very, it was good. It's been good the whole time. It's obviously, you have to hustle when you're beginning. And so it was a lot of hard work, a lot of, I bought leads, I went door knocking, I dialed, and I mean, I had a good lead system actually within our group. It was like mortgage protection, direct mail, exclusive leads, top level price, but they weren't going to everybody in our IMO. Other people could sign up for like mail those same people, but so I was spending good money and I was making a good return. And you don't always hear that in the industry. And honestly, I just think it was a God thing for me. I landed at the right place with the right people that have always done me right the whole time.
Yeah.
So it's been a good experience for sure. Bring me to year 5.5 here. I got out of the field actually in the second year because I built a team. I had a really huge warm market and I built a team, and, I've helped, other people come out and win, make six figures in the industry. So it's been like, I've had a very, very solid experience all the way up. Running into you was actually just kind of something that fell into my lap, but, because, you can't always do the same thing the same way if you want to scale to the next level. Right.
Right.
So yeah.
That's cool though. I mean, I think we get a lot of people that come from the kind of opposite side of things. They do the similar things that you have done, but maybe they don't have the work ethic, or maybe they don't have the good leads in place, or they don't have somebody there to mentor them. And so they have a really tough time. And so then what we teach them, a little bit of a different business model, can really help bring them out of that. But then on the other side, I love working with people like you who are actively crushing it and like have enjoyed the process that you've done so far, but also just looking for something else to add that edge, like you said, to kind of get you to the next level, to add something else in place. So I do like that unique perspective that you bring. Okay, cool. So when you found me, were you looking at any other programs, or did you just kind of find me and then
I
it
had
just kind of piqued your interest?
I mean, when you have an insurance license, you get targeted obviously by phone calls all the time. I mean, I got phone calls for years offering, come over here, do this or that. I mean, I got 35, 40 active agents, within my agency. I'm not going anywhere. The people I work with are good people. Like it's really a great setup where I'm at. So for me, it was going, how can where I was at in the business is, I mean, I'm like getting phone calls all day long, agents calling me. The way I learned how to make money in the field was because I had an upline that supported me. Not everybody out there has that, but I had an upline that would answer his phone for me. So, I learned how to do that for my people as well, with certain boundaries, of course, but I learned how to do that for my people as well. But as I got to a certain level, I was going, okay, I'm making good money. Like I'm making a decent override income. I'm not to the level I want to be at by any means, but we're like, for the first time, my wife and I were like, this is pretty cool. Things are good. We'd like to make more, save more. And, within our group, there like based on the next level income, there's really some incredible like stock options down the road and things like that, if I can get my level up. So that said, this whole last year, I was, really last 6 months, as I started to realize what I could do in 2022, I just started going, okay, I think I'm gonna get myself back in the field. I'm gonna start buying leads again. But every time I'd buy leads to run leads, I found myself busy either recruiting or teaching somebody else, and then, we got 2 kids under 4 years old and another one on the way. And I was just like, dude, I could do this again. I could literally get up and get out of the house at 7 a.m. and be like, love you, babe. I'm going to go make us millions over the next 12 months. I'll see you in a year. Or maybe there's a better way, to make the same amount of money. Cause like I could go do it, at the end of the day, for most agents out there that complain, it's a work ethic issue. Most of the time it's just a work ethic. Like, yes, there are systems that have problems, but almost every system I see, even if there's like 0 leads, like even the whole old fashioned, like go talk to your warm market. Now I don't promote that. It's not, but like if somebody has the grit and they go for it, I've seen people win in every single system out there. It's just about, can you compress timeframes, right? Is there a better way? So I'm sitting on Facebook, literally like, on a, like trying to watch a show with my wife late at night with, one of the, like the 1-year-old sitting on her lap nursing or something, and like the other kid running around, and I'm scrolling, and all of a sudden, boom, there's this guy sitting at a desk, like sitting like this with the hoodie on, talking about insurance. I'm like, who's this kid? But it caught me because you were like, are you chasing leads? Are you, doing all the stuff we do, right? And then you mentioned the Stone Age, how insurance tends to be in the Stone Age. And like, dude, I know it's true, because everywhere I look across the board, almost everywhere, even I found it in myself. I'm like, I'm a fairly young guy, but dude, when you get in this industry, you can become a dinosaur really fast, because you're just like, well, this is how these people made money. This is how this guy made money. And so everybody's pointing to the people that became multimillionaires or did really well or making $250,000 a year selling. And it's like, what did they do? They got in their car, they drove all around the nation, and they flew over here. They went to these leads, they bought these leads. It's like, okay, cool. That's cool. But is there a better way? So with your language, hit the spot, and it caught me, and I'm literally sitting there watching the TV show with my wife, and I'm like, sorry, babe, hold on just a second, which is the whole point of a VSL, right? You just can't, I couldn't fast forward, I couldn't rewind, but every next phrase kept me going to where I was like, well, I'm staying in this for the long run. It's literally a 40-minute video. And I'm like, okay, I got to talk to these guys, because I saw the success story of the guy that was like in his 50s or 60s, and he upped his production. And I thought, well, I don't know if I have time to do what they do as far as creating whatever they're saying. I just got to find out, how much does this cost? Is it possible? Because if it is, and as long as they don't require me to contract somewhere else or leave, then like this could be a real answer to my prayers. So and I've seen other ads out there for people talking about AI and different things like that. I see all these ads. I hadn't talked to anybody else. I had talked to one other lead generation company, of like an AI IUL lead generation company. I had 2 conversations, and they just, I don't know if it was they couldn't close me, or I wasn't feeling it 100%. But this gave me the opportunity to not just focus on one product, which you talk about in your training, but to focus on a certain type of people. And that's the key, man. Like, for sure, it's the key.
Yeah, man. A couple of things you said brought up a few questions. The first one is, and you touched on this a little bit, but was there anything like specific that you think like stood out that had you end up going with us versus some of the other people that you did talk to, or like what? It's hard to put a finger on it, but like, what was that thing that made you feel like, we were the company that could bring you to where you wanted to go?
Well, man, I wish I could remember everything you said in your VSL ad. But I mean, the conversation that you had in the actual video, the Facebook ad, got my attention, because it was everything. It hit the right spots. Because I mean, dude, I help agents every day sell off of mortgage leads, direct home mortgage leads, instant internet leads, and Facebook leads, and like I help agents all day make their sales, practice their call scripts. I've made sales off these leads. So like, I understand the game, and I don't down the game, because it works, and like, you got to have something to work, right? But when I was looking at it when I heard what you said, I was like, well, I can't say that he's wrong on that. Like, I can't say he's wrong when he says like, are you still doing this, chasing this down? There's a better way. Like, I'm like, you know what? I bet there is a better way, because in every other industry, people learn how to target market specifically, and they learn how to use technology to their advantage. So I've had agents ask me like, hey, is there a way to like use Clickfunnels or something? And I'm like, I don't know. Literally, I'm just like, I don't know, dude, just buy some leads and go to work, bro. That's literally what we say. And because at the level that I'm at, in my understanding, that's all I know to do, right? And last thing I want to do is send some agent down a rabbit hole with the wrong company or with the wrong thing, and all of a sudden they're 3 months out of the field, 20 grand in the hole, and now they go get a job, you know? So literally, man, it was a big deal that I like everything you had said in the VSL caught my attention. It was just, I don't know, man, the right place, the right time, but it hit the right questions. Every single question I had, you know, also technology, it's intimidating. Technology is intimidating. I mean, I'm in my 30s, but like, I feel young. I feel like I'm on top of things. I feel like I know what I'm doing. I built social media, like audiences over the years, just warm market audiences. I feel like I know what I'm doing. But fact of the matter is, you start talking about like everything I learned in this course, it was very, very overwhelming. So even stepping into it, you had the example of the gentleman in his 60s that was like, you guys were like, this guy did it. And it made me think of like my mom or my dad, who are awesome people, but I definitely like, you know, when it comes to clicking 25 different things and moving it all around and being like almost like an IT guy, it's intimidating. But you pointed out to somebody that admitted, hey, I'm in the older generation, and I just followed their instruction. I was able to do it. And I went from being a 20K producer to a 50K producer, just, you know, like this. So those were the things, honestly, the story got my attention the most, actually. After all the other facts and things, like that story pulled it, and I was like, okay, if that guy did it, then I could do that.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And honestly, like just from talking to you, I know you said you're going to do about 20K. And we'll get into this a bit, but honestly, I feel like you're going to be your first one to hit 100K in a month, and that's going to be insane. So
Dude, I am 100% focused on 100K a month. That's where my head's at, because it's the 20th is when I started making the sales, and today's the 1st, and I'm at 13K or 14K. And with that other 6, I would have been at 20. But I mean, I just get bookings all the time, you know, and it's so we're about to go to Vegas for a conference, and we got a bunch of stuff in February. So it's a short month, but I'm definitely ramping up in my head for like, you know, February to be big, and then March to be like 100K, 100K, 100K for the rest of the year, man.
Yeah, man. I'm so excited for that. Okay. 2 things that you said before. One was about like sending agents to the right place. Like you don't want to send them down a rabbit hole. And dude, I totally agree with that. And that's such an important thing. Like when people come in, you know, I don't know what other companies do, but like we don't want them to stop what they're doing. Like if you were in the field, I would never tell you to stop doing that. It's so good to like add this on and bridge the gap between the two. Don't just because that's such a recipe for failure when somebody wants to like implement something new and they go and they spend all of their time learning it and stop the money making activities. So yeah, that's such a big thing for us.
Well,
we have the
thankfully
organic.
for me, I was like, thankfully I had a team. Like as an agency manager, I had a team that had consistent income. Now I couldn't stop my money making activities of helping them, but for an agent, if I was an agent, literally the same amount of time that I spend just helping my team, taking calls, leading calls, all that stuff is the exact same amount of time that an agent can be out there writing on their current lead system that hopefully is working in some way, shape, or form, while they're spending the extra time in the evenings or whenever setting up their VSL, learning this whole system.
Yeah, 100%. And then the other thing you said when you were watching the video, like the first thing that came to your mind is like, I don't know if I have time to do all this stuff that they're talking about. I just want information. So, you know, when you're going through the process, talking to our guys, figuring out if this is the right thing for you, and then even like once you join the program, what were your thoughts when you like, I guess, did commit to like, hey, I am going to build this? Like, what made you switch from, I don't know if I have time to like, I know I need to do this? And then talk a little bit about like how much actual time went into like building the system.
Yeah, man. So when I became convinced, I mean, when I got on the phone with your sales guy to kind of like figure out the details, I was already like, there was no sale needed, honestly. And I tell my brother that, you know, that I tell him all the time, like, dude, the VSL does the job if you catch the right person. But I was the right person for it, because when I watched that video, I was like, okay, all I need to know now is, yeah, number one, like how much time will this take to set up? Can I actually do it? But that question got answered as far as can I by seeing the guy that was 60 that did it. I was like, okay, that guy can do it. And he said he's not a tech guy. So I know I can do it. How much time will it take? I don't know, but I'm willing to put in whatever it takes. And then the last thing was just, how much does it cost? And, we make good money, but I was like nervous to drop a large chunk of money, regardless of where you put it. I was like, am I ready to do this? And that's all I need to find out. And I told my wife, she was like, what are you doing? What are you doing over there? I'm like, I'm watching this thing that I think is going to change my business. But she's like, so how much does it cost? I'm like, well, I'm going to find out. But regardless, I'm going to figure out a way to do it. And that was kind of how I went in, because I saw the potential. So when I talked to your guy, it really was just, how much does this thing cost? And, can we pay for it? And if we can, then I'd like to do it. So I got it. And as soon as I got set up, this was November 1st. And like, I think there was definitely some weeks where I was like super just on it. And then there was a couple of weeks where things got really busy and I couldn't get as much done as fast as I wanted to. But, I hate the cool thing about it, for those that are listening, checking out the program, is Justin and Carter and the team. I mean, they're available to, like, literally they'll help you, or you can post up a question in the Facebook group and you got like 300 plus people that are in some way, shape or form in the program doing it, like right alongside you. They can be like, oh yeah, just do this or change that. And one time I remember I asked you a question and it was a tech thing and you told me what to do and I figured it out. And then I was like, sweet. Okay. I can move forward now. And you were like, yeah, man, just keep moving forward. That's like the thing that, and you mentioned like people quitting. You were like, yeah, don't get frustrated, because that's what makes people quit. But as long as you keep a good attitude like you're doing and just keep moving forward, like you're going to win with this. And I realized why it would be for somebody like basically I would watch your video. I pause it every 25 seconds and then I go do the thing you just did. And then I start it again and then I go do the thing you just did. So like, if you can be a disciplined person and actually just do the work, like if you're tired of, I don't, like for me, Justin, I didn't want to just sit and make outbound dials, even though like it was good leads. I wanted something of quality. I wanted something different to where I could talk to somebody and literally be like a consultant, an advisor, and like feel like I'm connecting with that person from the time they answer the phone. And I don't know if you want to get into this, but as far as time goes, I mean, it took time to get it all set up. All of November, all of December, I was working on it, probably on the side of what I was doing for my full time with my agency. And then really my goal was to try to be January 1 on the go. And then I think we started the test on like January 10th, maybe the test run for the ads on the 10th. And then everything was go from there. So, I'd say give yourself time. Obviously, if you've got the extra time, you don't have wife, kids and all that, you could really knock this out within 30 days. But it's a big workload, and it is worth there's a reason why it costs what it costs, because the level of instruction, it's not like, hey, here's ClickFunnels, here's this thing, go figure it out. It's like literally the level of instruction is you might as well have somebody sitting next to you the entire time, holding your hand, showing you what to do. Because the only way you're going to mess up is if you're not listening and paying attention while the video's on. That's the only way you're going to mess up.
Yeah, man. And that's so important, because like because before creating this, I would actually run ads for agents and agencies, and then started out by literally showing people sitting next to them how to do it. And I realized if I wanted to switch to course form and coaching program form, that it had to be good, because I've taken courses. I've spent a lot of money on courses, and I've taken ones that are just like very surface level. Then you have to YouTube about 80% of the stuff that's missing. And I was like, I can't have that be the case, especially with insurance agents that have other stuff to do. They're typically not naturally extremely tech savvy. Like, I just knew that I had to make this, yeah, like you said it perfectly, as if I was sitting there right next to people. And that's why we've had people that are in their 60s and I think even 70s, early 70s, that have been able to set up a website, a funnel, create a video, run ads to it. Like, they would probably surprise their grandkids with the stuff that,
Oh yeah.
that they're saying.
Oh, for sure, man. If my mom had taken this course, I mean, literally, my mom is one of my insurance agents, by the way. Like, and she's actually a full-time agent. She does really well. She's been with me for 4 years on my team. And I always think about, because she's one of the people I want to teach how to do this. Because I mean, she is already like a consultant when she meets with people, and she's written 40K in a month before just on leads because she's just a
Yeah.
hard worker. So, but I'm always thinking about her. I'm like, if she could sit and do this, then, and I know that she could, because she calls me about Facebook questions. She's like, what should I click if I want to send this message to this person?
Yeah.
So it's like that type of person, but I know that this type of program, like I'm looking at possibly using it for a couple of my top agents, to where they can benefit from that type of thing. But it's the type of training that literally it's hand holding. If you'll sit there and watch it and watch some of it in slow motion and go back and do it, then literally there's no reason why anyone that has some kind of insurance skill couldn't set this up and then at least become a 20K producer per month if they're not already.
Yeah, man. That brings me to good question topic to kind of like wrap this thing up. What's I know that like you yourself with personal production want to hit 100K per month, and honestly, I'm pretty sure you're going to do that within the next couple months. But like, what's the next thing from here? Are you wanting to because we've had a lot of people that when they have this system set up, it becomes extremely easy to recruit people because now you have a really solid place to plug people into. We've had people actually use a VSL funnel to recruit. We've had people that teach the same thing so their agents can then implement it. Like how do you foresee this really impacting your business going forward?
So I've got, I added Alicia, my assistant, to that chat with you guys because my goal is to choose, a few top agents in my team, and obviously I wanted to prove it first that it can be done. And honestly, I already have. I think at this point, just with like, I mean, I was in the top 10 for our company last week, and I'm like a senior vice president. You know what I mean? And honestly, I didn't work as hard as everybody else. I worked hard because I'm always working hard, but like it's a different kind of work. And I always tell my upline, because I've been telling him, I'm like, dude, you just watch. I'm gonna start breaking records really soon. Just watch what happens. But like it's a level of like, you can put your work into dialing and doing what everybody does, or you can put your work heavily into setting this thing up. It's the same. It's work regardless. It's work. But I feel like I dialed, and like that kind of energy, I feel like I dialed for like 2.5 months or 2 months. And now I'm all the results, you know what I mean?
Yeah, now you get to reap the benefit. Like you're done.
Yeah. So I'm going to get, I've got a couple strategies in mind with some of my people, but my goal is to create something in-house for my team within our IMO, but really specifically for my team. And so that my team, not every single person, because not every person's ready to run something like this, but I'm going to have my assistant become an expert at your course, meaning like to know exactly how, so that she can help some of my top agents set this up, and she can help on some of the back end, and answer the questions that I don't want to be sitting there answering all day.
Right.
And then get some agents. I mean, I want 3 to 5 agents, 10 agents, maybe running on this thing to where I'm running 100K a month. I mean, I've got some killer agents. I've got an agent that writes 60K on our lead system already. Like this agent would be like a freaking, beast. I got so many agents, dude, that are so good that they just need to be in front of the right people and not have to be selling all the time, but actually be meeting with. It's been that way now for like a little over 2.5 years, give and take, with attrition and just like sitting in that same spot. But I am so excited to watch the agency go to 1 million a month. everything in my mind in 2022 is my agency's going $1 million a month. I got one of my agency managers texting me like a little while ago, dude, let me know about how I can get in this thing. Like, what are you doing? So I've got 5 people like ready to roll, probably starting in mid to late February, starting to get them on this type of program.
Yeah, man. Dude, I'm so excited. I guarantee we're going to be doing another video here within a couple months when you're at 100K. And then when your agency hits $1 million a month, we'll do another video. I just, yeah. Excited for your progress, man. Excited for where things are going. And thanks for doing this. Thanks for answering our questions. I'm sure a lot of people watching get a lot out of it.
Thank you for putting this all together. And, for those watching, if you're checking this out, I mean, this program's legit. It's the real deal. Right place, right time. You just got to be willing to put in the money and the work, and you will get the return. So I appreciate all your support, Justin, what you guys do.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching this video today. It was a blast getting to interview Blaze. If you have any questions, please leave a comment in the comment section. Please hit that like button if you have gotten any value from this video whatsoever, which I hope you have. That's the whole reason that we bring content to you guys. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It greatly helps us to grow the channel, bring out more information to people, and always upgrade our content. So thank you for tuning in to this one, and we will see you on the next one.